What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my Milwaukee Packout system and my Festool Systainer system. I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of each and why I switched over from one to the other and if I have any regrets. Let's get into it. So I officially switched over from Milwaukee Packout to Festool Systainers. I do like my Packout. I loved my Packout. This stack right here, I installed hundreds of kitchens with this. Everything I needed was in this stack right here. And those two boxes were things that I didn't take with me every day, but from time to time I throw it in the truck and I use them. But this right here was basically everything I needed. I had my nail box here, my screw box, my drawer box, and then my bottom toolbox slash dolly cart, which I'll show you guys closer in a second, but my tool bag as well. I had everything in here. It was working for me. There was really no cons to it. The only con to it was that it was so big. It was so bulky. It's just they sell one width size. And Systainers has different width sizes. As you can, I don't know if you guys can see this one. The bottom is wider, but it still locks in with the slimmer Systainer. So it was, you can make it work for you basically. This bottom box right here, I got a love-hate relationship with this thing. I hated this thing because it was so big and heavy, but it carried my 16 gauge nail gun, my 18 gauge nail gun, my pin nailer, my circular saw, my jigsaw. I had a lot of stuff going on in here and it was great, but for that same reason it was heavy. So yeah, now I'm running a full Systainer system and they're much slimmer in width, depth as well. They're just smaller. It's smaller for me. It's easier for me to throw on and off the truck. With the Milwaukee Packout, I wanted something that I could just get to the job site. I would stack those two on here and I would get into my kitchen installation or my closet installations and I wouldn't have to come back out to the truck or the van to get anything else. Con to that was that I was carrying with me a lot of tools that I wasn't needing all the time. It was just tiring, loading and unloading things that I wasn't using all the time. And basically just breaking my back for no reason. So with the Systainer system, I wanted something where I could keep some of these in the truck and separate things that I didn't necessarily need all the time. Like this one right here doesn't come down with me. This little rack with these mini Systainers, which I'll show you in a second. I got nails in here. I got specialty screws in here, Craig screws and drawer front screws, stuff that I kind of use at the shop, not really on the site. I got some brackets, which I rarely need, but if I do, I'll come back out and I'll bring the whole Systainer with me. It's a mini Systainer, like it's not back breaking. If I need one drill, they got this lock system, which I'll show you guys in a second, but it's amazing. If I need one drill, I just bring it. It's not heavy. I got a drill in here and some bits on the top, which I'll show you in a minute. So now I'm going to show you some of the little details and differences between the two. One of my favorite things about the Systainer system is that to get to the bottom, I don't necessarily need to stack off the things on the top. If I want to get to my drill, I just spin the T-lock up, tilt the bag up, and I got my drills in there, grab it, close it, lock it up. I didn't have to unload and load it back up to get there. With this one, you can't do that. Let me try it right here. Let's see right here. That's just, I mean, yeah, you could still do it. It's probably not the best idea though. Now let's talk the differences in the tool bags. Well, I guess this would be considered more of a tote, and this is a tool bag. And I know people are gonna be like, well, dude, Milwaukee sells a tote just like this. it was too late. I was already switching over systems, so I ended up just getting this one instead of upgrading to the Milwaukee tote. But yeah, I used to keep my, basically I used to keep these clamps in there. I used to keep the caulking gun, my rubber mallet, my crowbar, my hammer, tape. A lot of the more bigger awkward shape stuff I would just kind of throw in there. I think I even had like a drill or two in there. On the side, it's got these pockets. I used to keep my some pencils. I used to keep them right here, and some of these things too. I used to just kind of throw them on the side. It's got one in the back too, but I liked it. It worked. It just, things would get buried in there, and I'd have to dig, and things would get caught, and I'd have to move stuff out, and get to the bottom. This one's a lot less of that because it's got this center divider right here. So I got two compartments. I got my clamps right here, and then I got my more rough, like I got a hammer. If I just reach for it real quick, or I got some blue tape, I can just grab real quick. I don't have to dig in the bottom and get things out. And or some of this stuff was in drawers too. I had to organize the drawers a certain way, otherwise it wouldn't close. And now I just got it all in here. It's just stuff that I need quick access to, and it's not I don't worry about how organized it is. I just kind of grab stuff and I'll put it back, and these kind of go in the same place, but these compartments right here, I just kind of throw stuff in there. It's not really like something I really keep that organized, but it just works a lot better for me now than the tool bag. Now let's talk about the difference in the drawer boxes. My Systainer ones are a lot smaller, but believe it or not, they actually fit the same things I was fitting in here. So everything I was fitting in here, I was able to switch it over here, and I don't know how, but it works out. I even still have some extra space left in there. So this drawer is completely empty because like I mentioned earlier, a lot of this stuff, these screwdrivers and pliers and all that stuff I had in drawers, so I switched it over to the tool bag. That's why I got this empty. But I actually had a guy at a job site mention to me that these look cheap. They feel cheap, and he was telling me that the Packout's a lot better. And I don't think that's actually necessarily true, because I think these are just more practical is the right word. It doesn't have a hardware and a drawer system. It's got the drawer system is, I think, these plastic grooves and some type of track in there that keeps it in place. But look at how easy that is to take it out. So it's just much more practical. I know guys that fill this up with screws and nails, and they bring this with them, and it's just a lot easier, and it's also less things to break. Believe it or not, I actually had one of these go out on my drawer system before, and I hit up Milwaukee, and it took them like 2 weeks to get it back. But it's just, these are nice. Don't get me wrong, these are nice, but like I said, I had one of them bust, and this I can't really see anything breaking on this unless this little tooth that keeps it in place when you push it in. Unless the spring in there was to break, I don't see anything that could go wrong with this one. That same tooth that keeps it in place is the same lock that keeps it closed. This one, you have to shut this. Otherwise, when you start driving, these are just gonna swing open and close in your truck or van, which has actually happened to me before. So don't do that, because I know that from experience. Now for the screw and nail organizers, there's not much difference in that. I had a bunch of screws and a little bit of nails in there, and now this one, I just have screws. I put my nails in one of these mini ones, so I separated the two. But as far as the rest, I was basically able to fit all that into here. How does that make sense? I don't know, but it just does. I was able to fit the same amount. It's not like I have to carry less. But yeah, also, one thing I do like about these is that it's just one hand, you know, you just need one hand to open and close it. I know it's not like a big hassle to do with two hands, but it's just, I don't know, one little step that I thought was pretty cool about the Systainers. Also, these grooves up here, these little cubes you see up here, keep all this from moving. It keeps it in place. I've actually seen videos of guys throwing this Systainer to test it out, and all the screws stay in place. I'm not going to do that, but I do know that in this one, the big screws, anything big would stay in place. But when you start talking about these 5/8 and 3/4 inch screws, and sometimes these shelf pins, I would see that they would jump around in here. You know, I would pick this up and I'd have some shelf pins down there, or mainly the little things would definitely still jump around in there. But this one, I have yet for that to happen to me, so that's definitely a plus. But for the most part, I mean, a screw / nail organizer is kind of the same thing. You're probably wondering, how do you roll these things around? I know we've all seen this one at Home Depot. It's the toolbox. It's a dolly / toolbox. It's all attached. You can't take this apart, which is kind of the bad part, but at the same time, it works. I do know that they sell a cart like this. I think it's like 120 bucks probably. And it could have made my Packout system a lot better. I just never wanted to spend the extra 100 bucks, I guess, because I figured I already have a dolly right here attached to this. And like I mentioned earlier, my whole system was to just do one trip and not come back out. And it was working at the time until I realized that, you know what, I'm bringing in a lot of tools that I'm not necessarily using all the time. But yeah, it's an easy system. I know we've all seen it. It locks in and you bring it in with you. It's a nice system. Like I said, I'm not talking bad about it. Yeah, so this one's got the separated rolling cart, is what they call it. It has locks on the wheels, so it won't move. And I can just stack this off, stack onto it however I want. If I need this for today, I just bring it on. Lock the T-lock. If I need this one too, same thing. Maybe I need my tool bag and my throw this on top. Unlock the wheels, and we're good to go. I think it looks clean. I think it looks professional. It's practical, like I keep saying, and I like the system, man. I'm happy, and I don't think I am going to be switching back to Milwaukee anytime soon. I was gonna sell that, but I kind of want to keep it. I could still fill them up. I got tons of tools in my shop just laying around. I could still fill them up and put some use to them. I don't hate them. I just like my new system, man. So if you guys like the video, subscribe. I'm gonna be trying to make more videos this year. Maybe I'll be making a video about what is actually in my installation kit, what I actually carry in my tool bag. I know you guys saw a little bit of what I have in the drawers. My drills, what kind of bits I carry, screws. I'll probably make a video about that later on, but thank you guys for watching. See you later.